So many people think power is built only on logic, on plans, arguments, and facts. But Law 37 throws all of that out the window. It says, create compelling spectacles.
Because humans don't just follow reason, we follow image, emotion, symbol. People are drawn to what they see, what captivates them, not what convinces them.
That's why the most powerful leaders, movements, brands, they all understood the power of theater. They didn't just say things, they staged them. They made people feel something.
And that feeling is key. Spectacle bypasses the rational mind and goes straight into the emotional core. It creates awe, mystery, drama, things that facts alone can't deliver.
Robert Greene is clear. Reality is boring. What captivates people is illusion, controlled attention, a curated narrative. And if you don't shape what people see, someone else will, often against you.
So, instead of competing in a war of facts, this law tells you to compete in the theater of perception. Make your message unforgettable, not by yelling, but by staging.
It's why court rulers wore elaborate robes, staged ceremonies, created rituals. It wasn't vanity, it was strategy. They were reinforcing their power through imagery.
And we do the same today, from political rallies to social media profiles, from corporate events to brand identities. The spectacle is everywhere, and it's powerful.
But here's the trap. If you ignore this law because you think it's manipulative or inauthentic, you lose control over how you're perceived. And perception always shapes influence.
That's the shift. Power isn't just what you are, it's what people see. And if what they see is dull, scattered, or forgettable, they'll follow someone else.
So this law is a reminder. Don't just deliver, design. Don't just speak, stage. Make what you represent impossible to ignore.
You know what's interesting? Most people don't realize they're already influenced by spectacle every day. They think they're making rational choices, when really they're responding to design.
Exactly. Politics is a great example. Campaigns aren't just about policies, they're about image. Colors, slogans, music, lighting, timing, it's choreographed, and it works.
People vote based on feeling, not detail. They buy based on emotion, not specs. They follow leaders who captivate, not just those who inform.
That's why Greene warns, if you focus only on substance, you lose to those who understand appearance. And it's not because substance doesn't matter, it's because spectacle moves faster.
And when used strategically, spectacle becomes distraction, a magician's misdirection. You keep eyes where you want them, while something else moves in the background.
Think about historical leaders, Napoleon, Hitler, JFK, even modern CEOs. They didn't just lead, they created images of leadership, controlled, intentional, memorable.
And that's not just ego, it's tactics. People need something to look at, to project meaning onto. If you give them nothing, they invent it, and that's risky.
Which is why Greene's law is both creative and defensive. It's about offense, creating emotional momentum, and defense, protecting your narrative before someone else distorts it.
It also explains why subtlety often fails in high-stakes power plays. If people don't notice you, they don't remember you. And if they don't remember you, you lose relevance, no matter how skilled you are.
So the key is this. Visibility isn't vanity, it's positioning. And spectacle isn't manipulation, it's communication. Just at a deeper, more primal level.
That's the core of this law. Understand that people are visual, emotional, story-driven creatures, and if you want influence, you have to play where the attention is.
Because in the arena of power, what people see is often more real than what actually is. Ignore that, and you're invisible.
People often confuse spectacle with superficiality, but this law isn't about faking power. It's about amplifying it, giving form to what already exists so others can feel it more clearly.
Yes, the most effective spectacle is rooted in truth. It's not about deception, it's about emphasis. You're not inventing something false, you're designing how others experience what's real.
Think about personal branding. When done right, it's not just colors and logos, it's a spectacle of identity, a consistent, powerful projection of who you are before you even speak.
Same in leadership. The way you enter a room, pause before speaking, use silence, it's all part of the stage. You're shaping perception with intention.
And in business, launches, pitches, even meetings, those who present with drama, with structure, with visual weight, they own the room, not because of louder content, but because of richer delivery.
That's the key word, delivery. The same message delivered flat dies, delivered with spectacle lives. That's power Greene wants us to see.
And there's a second layer to this law, memory. Spectacles stick. People forget words, but they remember what made them feel something. That's what cements influence.
Which is why we need to stop being afraid of being seen. If you want to lead, sell, inspire, persuade, you have to be visible, not just in presence, but in impact.
And that visibility needs design. It needs bold choices, symbolism, rhythm, a sense of occasion, because people don't follow noise, they follow signals.
Even in personal life, proposals, apologies, declarations, when you turn them into moments, they land deeper. Spectacle adds gravity.
It's not about drama for drama's sake, it's about framing, because framing gives meaning, and meaning creates movement.
So whatever your field, art, politics, business, relationships, remember, people aren't just logical, they're emotional, visual, rhythmic. If you want their attention, speak their language.
And spectacle is that language, not to manipulate, but to connect at scale with intention.
One of the dangers of ignoring this law is becoming forgettable. You can be brilliant, but if no one remembers you, it doesn't matter. Invisibility is weakness in any power game.
Exactly. And worse, if you don't create the spectacle, someone else will create one about you. And once that image spreads, it's hard to undo.
Greene's message is clear: control the stage or be controlled by it. Either you direct the attention or you become subject to someone else's narrative.
And spectacle isn't just about attracting people, it's about disarming them. Critics, rivals, skeptics, they get neutralized when the image is too strong, too well crafted to attack directly.
It's the shield and the sword. The show you create protects your core while projecting strength that keeps others at a distance.
And over time, that show becomes legacy. Think about artists, visionaries, even cult leaders. Their presence outlived their words because they didn't just communicate, they performed.
And there's power in that continuity. When your presence becomes symbolic, you don't even have to be there to be influential. The image carries itself.
That's why stagecraft matters. Even for people who say, I'm not in the spotlight. Truth is, we all are. Whether it's a meeting, a post, a launch, a moment of confrontation, you're on stage.
And when you're not intentional about what people see, they fill in the gaps. They assume, they project, they simplify. And most of the time, it won't be in your favor.
So the choice is never, will I create a spectacle? It's, will I shape the spectacle or let it shape me?
And here's something people miss. This law applies even in silence. Even absence can be a spectacle if it's crafted, if it leaves space for mystery, reflection, or tension.
Exactly. Think of the leader who steps away right before the climax, or the artist who disappears at their peak. That withdrawal becomes a statement, a spectacle of restraint.
It proves this law isn't about being loud, it's about being unforgettable. And unforgettable people don't just do things, they stage them.
Now, let's be real. There's a fine line between compelling spectacle and shallow performance. If the image has no weight behind it, people will eventually sense the emptiness.
Right. Spectacle without substance is noise. And in today's world, we're already drowning in noise. What cuts through is spectacle anchored in something real.
So this isn't about being fake, it's about being visible with intention. You take what's real, your values, your mission, your voice, and you magnify it in ways that move people.
Think about it like this. The spectacle is the invitation. It gets people to stop, to notice, to feel something. But once they're there, the depth is what makes them stay.
Exactly. That's where integrity meets strategy. You don't put on a mask, you build a mirror, one that reflects your essence in a way others can understand and remember.
And here's the thing, most people are already performing. They just don't realize it. They perform insecurity, confusion, scarcity, and that becomes their spectacle unintentionally.
So this law isn't a shift into performance, it's a shift into ownership of what you already project. You start curating the impression instead of leaving it to chance.
And when done right, the spectacle becomes alignment. Your message, your presence, your visual cues all tell the same story. That's when people start to trust what they feel around you.
And it creates emotional memory. That's what true influence is, when people remember how you made them feel, long after they forgot what you said.
It's why rituals matter, symbols matter, visual metaphors matter, because our brains are wired to respond to pattern, to rhythm, to meaning wrapped in motion.
Which means that power isn't just in doing, it's in staging. It's not just in saying, it's in showing. And those who ignore that will keep wondering why no one is listening.
Because people don't just follow clarity, they follow presence. And presence is built on what they can see, hear, and feel all at once.
That's the true essence of this law. Spectacle isn't a trick, it's a tool. One that, when used with purpose, builds legacy, magnetism, and momentum.
So if we're wrapping this up, what we're really saying is you can't ignore the stage. Whether you like it or not, the world is watching. And that means you either perform with purpose or get performed on.
Because in every arena of life, business, politics, art, even love, people follow signals. And spectacle is the amplifier of those signals. It gives your truth form, weight, echo.
And it doesn't have to be loud. The most compelling spectacles are often quiet, elegant, minimal. A gesture, a symbol, a pause. But they're crafted, they're not random.
That's what separates influence from noise. Spectacle isn't about grabbing attention for attention's sake. It's about holding attention long enough to deliver meaning.
So ask yourself, what do people see when they look at me? What do they remember? What do they feel? And more importantly, am I choosing that impression or leaving it to chance?
Because the most powerful people don't just manage behavior, they manage perception, not by faking, but by framing.
And if you want to build something that lasts, a brand, a movement, a reputation, you need more than ideas. You need images. You need moments.
That's why Greene gives this law such weight, because power isn't static. It's a performance, a ritual, a rhythm. And when you control the rhythm, you control the room.
Next week, we move into a colder space. Law 38, think as you like, but behave like others. It's about blending in to win from within.
It's a sharp contrast to this episode, from spectacle to subtlety, from stage presence to social camouflage. But in the world of power, both are essential.
So leave with this. Don't just deliver value, design how it's received.
And don't just chase attention, command it, through presence, through rhythm, through spectacle.